Jennifer, there's so many stories you have done. I'm tempted to ask you not on which story you like the most, but I'm sure in your experience, like what you spoke about the plane crash you were into, there's something which stands apart. Which story was that?
Well, my greatest honor, I would say, was having interviewed Field Marshal Manekshaw. What an amazing man. And I honestly salute him after all these years because, first of all, it took me more than 1 year to get him to agree to the interview.
There's a word called perseverance.
Perseverance, persistence,
If you're
patience.
a storyteller,
yes.
be patient.
Yes, nothing's going to come to you on a plate. So it took me more than 1
year.
year to get that interview, to get him to agree. I went up to his home in 𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒂𝒊𝒂𝒊𝒂 and did the interview. It went very well. The whole day was spent doing that interview. When we came back to the hotel where we were staying, we discovered that the sound had really got messed up.
Oh my.
It was in Doordarshan time. And I was desperate. I was just desperate because I've spent so much time and energy trying to get him.
1 year waiting to get
1
this
year waiting to
appointment.
get him, and in one day it's been ruined. I called him and I was in tears, actually, which is not something I would normally do professionally. And I told him, this is what has happened. I am so sorry. And the graciousness of that man said to me, and I remember his words, he said, I'm leaving for Coimbatore at 6 o'clock in the morning. If you can be at my home at 4 o'clock in the morning, I will give you the main interview again.
Oh.
Now, when I think about the graciousness of him to have agreed, because he knew how much effort I had put in to actually trying to get him, it was just so wonderful, because when the whole story came out and the interview came out, not quite like Doordarshan, but the minister actually wrote a letter to say that it was such an amazing, marvelous interview. Not for anything else, but he didn't even know. So he didn't know what the story was inside the story. That was the inside story. Yeah. And I've never forgotten that. Because to think that he actually saw my stress, he saw my distress at what had happened. Yeah. So I think that was one of the finest things I ever did. And I would say that the most important people have in when you're really close up and personal with them, they're just human beings. And if you can remember that, but you treat them and treat everybody with a level of respect and courtesy and niceness, it doesn't mean you have to be nasty. Even if you're asking an uncomfortable question, make no mistake, I've asked many uncomfortable questions, but you don't have to be shouting and screaming. You tell the person that, well, I would like to ask you this. It's your prerogative. If you don't like it, go ahead. Just tell me no comment and I will understand. You have to know as a journalist when to back off. You've got to know when you don't hang on too long. If the person doesn't want to answer, don't waste your time. Television time is the most precious thing in this world. So don't waste your time. Just go on to the next subject. Go on to the next topic. Go on to your next question. Go on to the next issue. Because sometimes people are so aggressive that they say, so what do you think? What have you got to say? Can you tell me? Can you tell me? He's not going to tell you. If he's a seasoned person, he doesn't want to talk to you. Normally, sometimes journalists are a pain in the neck. We know that, Ashvin, that when you go to some people, they don't want to see you. They just walk away. And you'll see this many, many times with the younger journalists. I can understand that they're being put under pressure by a managing editor or their input editor. I understand that. But at the same time, even that senior person has to understand, because they've been through the mill. They've been doing all of this. So there are times when people don't respond. However, the more important people, the bigger the people are, I find that the nicer they are, really, truly.
They're also humans.
Yes, of course. Of course. And if you treat them politely, with the kind of respect that you give any human being, any interviewee, anybody at all, I think that's what counts in the end, really.
Talking about this incident which I'm picking up is, the story is important. Yes, the host is important. The guest is important. But the team is also important.
The team is the most important
Let's
thing.
talk about that.
Yes, I would say the team is the most important thing in television. Your cameraman, your lighting, your sound. In fact, I think the most important person is the driver who's taken you to the location. If that person didn't take you to the right spot and didn't take you there in time, what would you do? You could have the best team in the world, but if you don't get there, it's of no use at all. So this is very important. Your team is crucial, and your behavior with the team is very, very important. How do you treat your team? How do you treat any human being? I think that's what it's all about. Because I feel that your cameraman, your lighting, your sound, your recordist, whoever it is an expert in their field. Let's not forget that. You are nothing without your team. You're nothing. You can stand with an iPhone these days and say, okay, this is blah, 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 whatever you want to say. But still, even that, you still have had to get to that location. So it's very important. Your team is crucial, crucial, crucial in television. As with anything, really, as with anything.
Yeah. And also, Jennifer, when you're dealing with stories, I would like to come to a very particular question, especially now with the platforms opening up for many new journalists to come, how important it is. One is you said the background, the research.
Yes.
One is the story itself. But then, as a host coming before the camera, how important it is to ensure that you carry it in that. So, for the people who are saying, I want to be a host, yes, I want to be a storyteller, but I'm also aiming to be a host. What would be your take in, if as a host, as a storyteller, how do you carry yourself?
Right. First of all, I believe that if you want to be in front of the camera, you have to be a natural.
Be a natural.
Be a natural. You just have to be yourself.
Follow your own style.
Yes, follow your own style. A little tip would be stand in front of your toilet mirror. Rehearse yourself. Look at yourself. You'll see how terrible you look sometimes. You'll see how badly you speak. Don't presume that you're the best looking person or you're not necessarily so. You're not necessarily the one who's speaking the best. So therefore, I think that's very important. You have to be able to present yourself in the way that you would like to be seen. You don't have to try to be too smart. You don't have to be, and by smart, I mean over the top, clever. You don't have to do that. There's no big words. Very simple. Your whole attitude has to be simple. I'm not saying you have to bow and scrape to your guest, your person who's with you. No, you don't have to do that. But you have to treat them with respect, with kindness, and with courtesy, as you should treat anybody, really. And I feel that you need to, if you're a presenter or an anchor, you need to always be able to come back to that guest. There are people who will say, I never want to be on her show again. I never would like to be. I've never had that, Ashvin. It has never happened. This is not a boastful sentence. No, not at all. Because if you have been courteous with somebody, they will always come back to you if you need them. You may not need them. Doesn't matter. But just a small example. I remember being in Sri Lanka and going to interview the president of Sri Lanka in her palace. Do you know that the president made us wait for 12 hours for the interview? Gave us an appointment in the morning. Till the evening, we were still in the palace waiting for her. And when the lady came out, she didn't even apologize. She just thought it was okay. You're just the journalist who's come to interview me. Mark you, world exclusive interview. But the point was, I just kept quiet. I was just so glad that I was getting this interview after 12 hours. It didn't matter. It didn't matter that the whole 12 hours has gone. It did not matter at all. So that's very important. You'll be subjected to things like this. It happens all the time. People don't think about timing, and this is very important. So it's okay. It's all right. It's your passion to be there to get that story. I want the story. That's the main thing. Yes, that's right.
So for the people who are saying, yes, I want to be in this business of storytelling, I want to be in front of the camera, you're giving a lot of foundational takeaways and also some very good takeaways. But more than that, you're saying something which is resonating. Be yourself. Don't have to look at somebody else and say, I want to be like that.
That's right.
But be yourself.
Yes, there are no two people who are the same in this world anyway. There's be somebody who looks like Ashvin and somebody who looks like me. Somebody who speaks like you, somebody who speaks like somebody else. So what? There are lots of people, and we used to have in NDTV people from different parts of the country, different accents, different mannerisms, different feel about what's happening in their state, a different feel about how they should look. It did not matter at all. It's each individual.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that I used to enjoy watching news is, Jennifer, for me, is Larry King live.
Oh, yes.
I mean, just
was
that his voice, you know,
wonderful.
The way he took the story. I remember Larry King was interviewing Billy Graham.
Yeah.
And he has interviewed some very big
Yes,
personalities.
of course.
But I just love the way he comes to
Yes.
the story. That was a big inspiration for me, you know.
That's right, yes.
So I'm just saying, you know, that to me, that was a storyteller.
That's right. I love David Frost, actually.
David Frost? Okay.
And I had the opportunity of seeing Tim Sebastian, actually, in his studio in London. And he was also marvelous, quite aggressive, very tough. You know, he would stare, etc. But still, at the same time, there was such a charisma about these
Exactly.
people. And that charisma didn't come overnight.
Yes.
That's what I was saying, that they have built up to where they are. And they
exactly.
deserve every success when you've gone through the mill like that.
It's growing up, Jennifer, I should say also, I've really enjoyed watching your stories also because, you know, now I'm able to resonate back, you know, when you said every one of your story, which I've seen on TV and some on YouTube, is really amazing. You know, it's just that you bring that personality and I'm able to reflect on what the key points you're saying here is give respect to the guest.
Absolutely.
But get the story. It can be a tough question, but do it gracefully.
That's right. It's the gentleness that you convey. You don't have to be aggressive. What are you trying to prove to your guest? That's the bottom line. I don't want to prove anything. I want to get that guest to tell me what I want to hear. That's very important. And you can do anything in this world if you do it nicely. I think that's the key. And I think that's the key to success, really. That's the way it is.
I think this is the 4th show, and every show we are getting one key point. And this time it's more on, you know, be original, be yourself. That's the one line I'm getting.
Absolutely.
Be yourself, stand in the mirror, try talking to yourself, see how it looks, and just be yourself, you know. Like even in this show, you know, we have some notes, but I'm not even following the notes, you know. So I'm just saying it's just enjoy the show, you know. If we both enjoy it, I think others will enjoy it.
Well, I hope so, Ashvin. I hope so.
Yeah. No, but that's big takeaways. And I like the way you said care for your team.
Very important.
You know, sometimes we get so carried away that we don't bother about the team, you know.
Right. That's the point. Journalists and people in front of the camera, particularly anchors, and you can become very arrogant. You can become very obnoxious is the right word. That's not the way it should be. Your team will never participate with you if you are like that. And let's face it, one little button pressed the wrong way can ruin everything.
Exactly.
That's so important. So you have to have such a rapport with your team that that's the fundamental thing here, I think.
Yeah.
That's the way it has to be.
Jennifer, we're going to do one more show, probably could be the last episode. And I really want you to touch upon the viewers who are saying, you know what, I want to be that storyteller. I want to be that, what Jennifer's saying makes so much sense to me. I want to be that link, that messenger.
Yes.
But you know what? I'm in the very initial stages, but I want to get into this subject. And what are the 3 or 4 more major points I need to check out or watch out as I pursue this as a career?
Fine.
So that's going to be the next episode, Jennifer. And I'm really enjoying talking to you. And I'm looking forward to this episode because many who are watching this 3 shows or 4 shows, many would take the decision to say, I want to be a storyteller. So I'm coming back to the audience.
Fine.
How do we help them?
Okay.
That's the question.
That's
I'm
right.
looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Let's Talk Influence.
Okay.